Right now, your brain is lying to you, not in some philosophical sense. Your brain is literally fabricating reality, filling gaps, guessing at details, constructing a version of the world that doesn't actually exist. And the strangest part, you have absolutely no idea it's happening. Most of the time, this system works so perfectly you never catch it. Your consciousness runs smooth. Reality feels solid and continuous and real. But there are moments, sometimes just seconds, where the glitch shows, where you realize the world you're experiencing is only a story your brain decided to tell you. And once you know how to see them, these glitches are everywhere. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 10 documented, scientifically proven moments where your perception completely fails you. You'll recognize almost every single one because you've lived through them. You'll understand exactly why they happen. And most importantly, you'll realize that the reality you experience right now might not be as reliable as you think. So let's start with the first one. Glitch number 1, the doorway effect. You walk into a room with complete purpose. You know exactly why you're there. And the moment you cross the threshold, it's gone. The thought completely evaporates. You stand there confused, retracing your steps like you're investigating a crime scene. This is called the doorway effect, and it's not memory failure. It's memory organization betraying you. Your brain files thoughts by context. When you leave one room and enter another, it closes that file and opens a new one. The intention gets stored in the room you left. It's not lost. Go back and it returns instantly. Your brain doesn't forget. It just filed it in the wrong place. Glitch number 2, déjà vu. Now let's talk about something completely different. You're somewhere you've never been, a new city, a stranger's voice, a moment of complete newness, and suddenly there's this feeling. You've been here before. You've done this exact thing, not like it reminds you of something. Like this precise moment has already happened. Your rational mind says no, but the feeling is absolute. This is déjà vu, and it's a misfiring in two brain systems that normally work in sync. One processes new experiences. One retrieves memories. Sometimes the retrieval system triggers when it shouldn't, giving you the feeling of familiarity without any actual memory to back it up. You get the emotion without the source. Your brain says, I know this, when logically, you know you don't. Glitch number 3, jamais vu. But here's where it gets strange. What happens when déjà vu flips completely backwards? The word the, you've written it millions of times. Your fingers could write it sleeping. Suddenly, it looks wrong, misspelled. Like you've never seen it before, like it's not even a real word. This is jamais vu, and it's déjà vu running in reverse. Your brain just called something familiar completely new. You know what it means, but the form has become alien. It usually lasts seconds. Your brain resets. But in that window, you're forced to confront something uncomfortable. Your sense of the familiar is not as reliable as you think. Glitch number 4, the uncanny valley. Let's move to something that hits you emotionally. A doll that looks almost human. A robot that moves just slightly wrong. A wax figure that's almost perfect but somehow makes your skin crawl. They all trigger the same response. Deep revulsion. Not fear, not disgust, but a primal sense that something is catastrophically wrong even though you can't say what. This is the uncanny valley. The closer something gets to human without actually being human, the more uneasy you become. Your brain has two separate systems. One detects human, one detects alive. When a doll or android triggers the first system but fails the second, your brain reads it as a contradiction. And contradictions involving faces get flagged as threats. This warning system evolved to detect disease, deception, death in other humans. Now it misfires on silicon and CGI. Glitch number 5, sleep paralysis. Now we're entering the territory of the genuinely terrifying. You wake up, or you think you do. Your eyes open. You can see your room. You know exactly where you are, but you cannot move, not a finger, not your head, complete paralysis. And sometimes there's something in the room with you, a shadow, a presence, something watching. This is sleep paralysis, and it's a timing error. During REM sleep, your brain paralyzes your body so you don't act out your dreams. Normally, this switches off the moment you wake up, but sometimes it doesn't. You're conscious while the paralysis is still active. You're aware, but locked down. The figures are hallucinations, your brain still half dreaming, generating images that bleed into waking consciousness. You're experiencing a threat you cannot escape. Your ancient threat detection system is screaming while your movement system is offline. Glitch number 6. The Mandela effect. But it gets stranger than that. Ask 100 people. Did Nelson Mandela die in prison in the 1980s? Surprisingly, many will say yes. They have clear memories of it. Their memories feel absolutely real. But it never happened. He was released in 1990 and died in 2013 as president. This is the Mandela effect, when millions share the same false memory with complete confidence. The Monopoly Man's monocle, Pikachu's black tail tip, mirror, mirror on the wall. Millions remember these wrong things in exactly the same way. Memory isn't recording, it's reconstruction. Your brain stores fragments and then fills gaps with logic and expectation. A character wearing a top hat should have a monocle, right? That's what that type looks like. Except he doesn't. But millions of brains independently filled in the same detail. Now millions have the same false memory. Glitch number 7. Highway hypnosis. Let's talk about something that happens to almost everyone. You're in your car on a familiar highway. The next moment you clearly remember is pulling into your driveway. But 20 minutes have completely vanished. You have no memory of driving. This is highway hypnosis or missing time, and it's not unconsciousness. You reacted to traffic correctly. You braked. You signaled. But your conscious mind checked out. You operated on pure autopilot. A routine task requires so little attention that your conscious awareness just wandered off and didn't record anything. You weren't gone. You just weren't recording. Glitch number 8. Semantic satiation. This one is shorter, but incredibly weird. Pick any word and repeat it 10 times. Chair, 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 chair. By the end, it stops being a word. It becomes noise. A random collection of sounds that doesn't mean anything. You know what it means. But the meaning has temporarily vanished. This is semantic satiation. When you repeat something rapidly, the neural pathways connecting the sound to its meaning get fatigued from firing too fast. The connection weakens and the meaning just doesn't load. The sound stays. The sense disappears. It recovers in seconds. But in that window, ordinary words feel completely alien. Glitch number 9. Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Now imagine your entire sense of space becomes distorted. You're lying in bed and something feels off about your own body. Your hands look too small or too large. The room stretches away from you. Objects nearby seem huge or impossibly far. Everything feels wrong in scale, like the world has been resized without permission. This is Alice in Wonderland syndrome, a neurological condition that distorts perception of size, distance, and sometimes time. It's most common in children and usually appears at night or just before sleep. The leading cause is unusual electrical activity in the parts of the brain that process spatial perception, the same areas that normally help you judge distance and size. When they misfire, your entire sense of scale goes with them. Glitch number 10. The feeling of being watched. And finally, the last one. Something subtle but deeply unsettling. You walk into your bedroom and immediately feel watched. No sound, no movement, nothing you can point to. But that prickling certainty that someone's eyes are on you. This is the feeling of being watched, and it comes from 2 sources. First, your peripheral vision is incredibly sensitive to motion and shape changes. Your brain detects something before you consciously identify it, leaving you with vague unease. Second, humans overestimate how often they're being watched because your brain treats possible threat as worth a false alarm. Better to feel watched 100 times for nothing than to miss the one time it's real. These 10 glitches are proof of something uncomfortable. The reality you experience is not the world as it is. It's the world as your brain has agreed to tell you it is. Your consciousness is a construction. Your perception is a guess. Your memories are reconstructions. This isn't depressing. It's liberating. Because it means your experience of reality is far more malleable, far more yours than you ever thought. If this shifted how you think about your own mind, hit like, Not because I'm asking, but because it signals the algorithm that people want content that actually makes you think. But more importantly, drop a comment. Which of these have you experienced? Which glitch have you actually felt? I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know. And subscribe if you want to catch the next video about the strangest things your brain does that you've never even heard of yet. See you there.